Every morning, Alex wakes up in a small apartment in Seattle. The sun shines through the window, but Alex does not feel the warmth inside. Each day begins with a heavy heart, filled with thoughts of self-doubt. At breakfast, they often wonder if they should even try to make something of themselves. Ideas for what to say to their coworkers feel stuck, like an old car that won't start. Even simple tasks seem huge and impossible. At work, Alex sits at a desk surrounded by cheerful faces. Yet every time someone shares their thoughts in a meeting, Alex feels small and invisible. They want to speak up, but the voice in their head shouts, "Don't say anything. You will sound silly." So, they nod along, hiding their own ideas, while thoughts of self-doubt keep spiraling. Alex knows they can do great things, but deep down, there is a constant fear of failure. Outside of work, Alex also worries about friends. While others laugh and share stories over coffee, Alex listens quietly, afraid to join in. They think, why would they want to hear what I say? This chain of negative thinking links every part of their daily life. Short walks in the park only bring more reminders of the dreams left untouched. The same cycle plays out each day, just like a movie on repeat. But beneath the feelings of being stuck, there is a small flicker of hope. Some mornings, that hope nudges Alex to try just one little thing. A slow and steady change can begin when they choose to see each day as an opportunity. Each moment is a chance to inch toward purpose and happiness. Although fear often casts its long shadow, the idea of embracing purpose starts to blend with their routine, waiting to bloom into something beautiful. One ordinary afternoon, while Alex was browsing the internet during lunch break, they stumbled upon a video. The bright thumbnail showed a smiling woman talking passionately about purpose and self-belief. Alex hesitated. What could this possibly teach me? A little voice in their head whispered, but another part felt a flicker of curiosity. With a sigh, Alex clicked on the link. The speaker spoke directly to the camera, her voice warm and inviting. She shared her own story of struggle, filled with self-doubt and feelings of being lost, just like Alex. Each word poured out like a gentle stream, and Alex felt as if the woman was speaking just to them. The woman talked about how she, too, had felt trapped in a cage of negativity. She explained that it was only when she realized she had the power to change her thoughts that her life started to transform. The phrase she repeated often was, "You are more powerful than you think." In that moment, something inside Alex began to stir. A feeling they had not experienced in a long time, hope. But soon after that spark of inspiration, doubt crept in again. Can I truly change? Alex thought. It was easy to hear uplifting words but much harder to put them into action. The video ended, but the idea lingered in Alex's mind. What if I really am more powerful? They wondered as they turned to their cold lunch and took a slow bite. With each passing hour, the words echoed. Alex returned to work, thoughts racing. They found it hard to keep focus. Instead of the usual worry about making mistakes, a new thought nudged Alex. What if I just try? Even though they felt like a small fish in a vast ocean, the idea of swimming to the surface filled them with a mix of excitement and fear. However, doubt still whispered, what if this is just a dream? The next day, Alex decided they would test a little of that newfound inspiration. During a team meeting, the manager asked for ideas on the next project. Alex's heart raced as their throat felt tight. What do I even know? I can't speak up, they thought at first. Then, recalling the woman's words, Alex took a deep breath. I must try, they told themselves. They opened their mouth, and to their own surprise, a few sentences came out. A shaky idea slipped into the discussion, and to their shock, the team responded positively. The flickering doubts still danced in the back of Alex's mind, but for that moment, they felt a small sense of triumph. Even when the voice of doubt whispered louder than ever, a part of Alex believed in the possibility of change. Yet, the challenge of being brave was far from over. In the days that followed, Alex continued to watch similar videos and read inspiring quotes whenever possible. Each time they caught a breath of motivation, they felt a battle between hope and doubt within themselves. During meals, Alex would often recall snippets from the videos, reminding themselves, you are more powerful than you think. Slowly, these moments of inspiration became stepping stones on their path, leading away from the weight of self-doubt and toward a clearer vision of who they wanted to be. Though the journey ahead seemed daunting, that one life-changing video pushed Alex to take a brave step forward that they had long forgotten how to take. And in that step, however shaky, started to show glimpses of a new beginning. As the days turned into weeks, Alex woke up with a different sensation. The drive to change felt like a quiet whisper growing louder, pushing them to take action. After much thought, Alex knew what they had to do: sign up for a public speaking class. The idea sent waves of excitement and fear crashing through them. It felt like standing on the edge of a diving board, looking down into the deep end of the pool. Would they jump? After hesitating for days, they finally took a leap. Alex sat down at their laptop, fingers hovering over the keyboard. With a few deep breaths, they typed in "public speaking classes." After searching, they found a local class starting next week. Heart racing, Alex clicked the register button and felt a mix of relief and fear wash over them. There was no turning back now. The first day of class arrived, and Alex felt nervous. As they walked into the bright, cheerful room, a wave of self-doubt crashed over them. What if I make a mistake? What if I embarrass myself? But looking around at the faces of others, who seemed just as anxious, sparked a small sense of togetherness. Everyone was there to grow. The instructor welcomed them warmly, creating a comfortable atmosphere. As the class began, Alex listened carefully. When classmates shared their fears about speaking, Alex couldn't help but nod. They were all united in their worries, which oddly comforted Alex. It reminded them that they were not alone in this journey of self-improvement. For the first few sessions, each student was asked to speak just for a minute about their favorite hobby. Alex chose to share their passion for hiking, a love that had often been overshadowed by fear of judgment. As the moment drew close, Alex felt butterflies fluttering in their stomach. When their turn came, they stood up. For a moment, time seemed to freeze, and self-doubt knocked loudly on the door of their mind. But as they began to speak, something amazing happened. Alex found their voice. They spoke slowly and clearly, feeling the warmth of discovery. When they finished, a few classmates clapped. A spark of joy ignited within. Despite that small win, moments of doubt still lingered. In the following weeks, Alex had to fight against the familiar thoughts that crept up, like shadows during a sunlit afternoon. Before each new speaking opportunity, Alex practiced their speech in front of a mirror. Sometimes they felt strong. Other times, fear clawed at them. What if I mess up again, they thought. But whenever they doubted themselves, the memory of that first applause lighted their way like a guiding star. With each class, small victories began to pile up. One session, another classmate gave Alex a compliment for how they articulated their thoughts. That boost of encouragement felt like fuel, pushing away the dark clouds of self-doubt just a bit. Another time, the instructor asked Alex to help lead a group discussion. In that moment, the fear that once felt so heavy now felt lighter. They agreed, motivated by their new spark of confidence. Every step forward began to feel like a gradual climb up a steep hill, but with each step, the view got better. Though the road to self-improvement was still filled with bumps, the first small wins made the journey worthwhile. Alex learned just how powerful they could be when they stepped out of their comfort zone, one careful and sincere effort at a time. One Friday morning at work, while Alex was sipping coffee and browsing through emails, they noticed a message from their manager, Sarah. The subject line read, "Exciting opportunity." Curiosity pricked at their mind. With a mix of excitement and dread, they opened it. The email explained that the company was hosting a big event in a few weeks to celebrate its success, and Sarah wanted Alex to be one of the speakers. At first, Alex felt a burst of joy. This could be my moment. They read the message again, the thrill dancing in their heart. But then, the joy quickly turned into a cold rush of fear. What if they messed up? What if no one wanted to listen? The playful thoughts that had filled their mind before slowly morphed into heavy clouds of self-doubt. Over the next few days, the weight of this big opportunity began to sink in deeper. Alex's stomach twisted in knots every time they thought about it. They were going to speak in front of their colleagues, including high-level executives. Panic set in as images of standing frozen at the podium filled their mind. What if their hands shook? What if they forgot their words? With every passing moment, self-doubt tightened its grip, whispering fears that chased away the excitement they once felt. To avoid the overwhelming anxiety, Alex tried to focus on their daily tasks. But ideas for what to say in their speech kept colliding with thoughts of failure. Maybe I should just say no, they whispered to themselves multiple times. As days went by, the invitation turned into a mysterious weight hanging around their neck. The night before the big day, Alex struggled to sleep. Thoughts raced in their mind like a speeding train, banging against walls. You're making a mistake. Why do you think you can do this? What if no one cares what you have to say? Although they had come a long way, Alex couldn't shake off the worries flooding their heart with doubt. Drenched in panic, Alex finally decided to share their feelings with a close friend, Emma. They met at a small coffee shop, the familiar aroma of roasted beans surrounding them. I've been invited to speak at the event, Alex said, their voice shaking. They recounted the invitation, each word oozing uncertainty. Emma listened carefully, nodding with understanding. After Alex finished, Emma offered some kind words. You've made so much progress, Alex. This is just another step in your journey. Remember how far you've come? Her words began to plant seeds of encouragement, but the fear still whispered harsh truths. Returning home, Alex applied the small exercises they had learned to calm their mind. Breathing deeply, they sat down with a notepad. Alex started to jot down ideas, dreaming of an engaging speech that would inspire others just like they had been inspired. But doubt crept in as they wrote. Can I really do this? They again questioned. Even after hours of planning, it felt almost meaningless against the tide of anxiety. Their heart raced with fear, as emotions swirled like a storm. Alex couldn't help but wonder if they were just a puppet, with self-doubt pulling the strings. But deep down, a spark flickered, reminding them of all their small victories along the way. As the day approached, the heartbeat of fear echoed louder in Alex's chest, leaving them with one thought: all great journeys start with a challenging turn. The big challenge waited just ahead, and they would have to face it, one shaky breath at a time. The day of the event finally arrived, and Alex could hardly breathe. Dressed in a smart shirt, they looked in the mirror one last time, silently pleading for strength. The reflection staring back seemed anxious and uncertain, but a flicker of determination shone through. The venue buzzed with laughter and chatter, and Alex's heart pounded loudly. Each step felt like wading through thick mud as they walked into the bright room filled with familiar faces. In the minutes leading up to their speech, Alex felt engulfed by swirling nerves. You can do this, they reminded themselves, gripping the podium closely. But the thoughts of failure roared near their ears like a storm. What if you forget everything? What if they don't care? Just before stepping on stage, Alex took a deep breath, focusing on the positive phrases they had practiced. You are capable. You have something to share. These thoughts began to calm their racing heart, like a gentle wave washing over stress. Stepping onto the stage brought an immediate rush of recognition yet made their palms sweat. They could see several eyes turn toward them, and an enormous rush of doubt threatened to sweep them away. As they began to speak, Alex's voice was shaky but grew steadier. They started by offering a friendly smile to the audience. Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here today to talk about my journey and what I've learned. Just sharing these words felt like stepping into the spotlight after a nervous slumber. Although doubt danced in the back of their mind, the knowledge that they had something meaningful to share pushed Alex forward. With every sentence, Alex imagined that unwavering support from Emma. People are here to listen and learn, Alex thought. The nervous energy transformed into a potent force that drove them, fueling their speech. As Alex shared their struggles with self-doubt and introduced the idea of finding purpose, they felt a shift inside. It was as if a door that had been tightly closed had finally creaked open. Even when they stumbled over words or paused for a moment to collect their thoughts, the audience listened with encouragement. Each nod and smile fueled Alex's confidence. They recognized a few co-workers in the back, giving thumbs up, reminding Alex they were not alone in this moment. The vulnerability of sharing uncomfortable truths wrapped around them like a warm blanket, easing the fear a little more. At the heart of their speech came a revelation, a pivotal moment that stood out like a shining star in a clear sky. I once thought that fear defined me. But today, I stand here telling you that our challenges are great teachers. The words flowed effortlessly, each sentence building upon the last, bridging the gap between fear and strength. Alex could almost see the apprehension melting away in the eyes of their audience. As they came closer to the end, they felt a rush of excitement. We all have purpose inside us waiting to shine, they said, voice ringing clear. Stepping fully into the moment, Alex ended with a heartfelt message: when self-doubt lingers, remember that change starts with believing in ourselves, one step at a time. With that, thunderous applause erupted, echoing in Alex's mind like fireworks. Standing under the spotlight, a wave of fulfillment crashed over them. Despite their worries and fears, they had stepped into the challenge, confronting their anxious heart head-on. The connection with the audience filled them with warmth and joy. The intensity of the moment burned brightly, leaving no room for the shadows of self-doubt. This was more than just a speech, it was a breakthrough, a testament to their growth, something they would carry with them for a long time to come. As Alex stepped off the stage, applause still ringing in their ears, a wave of disbelief washed over them. Did I just do that? Gratitude filled their heart as several co-workers approached, congratulating them with warm smiles and genuine compliments. Those kind words felt like sunlight breaking through dark clouds, chasing away the lingering doubts that used to overshadow their mind. Alex had faced the fear of failure and emerged stronger, gaining something precious along their journey. In the days following the speech, the buzz of excitement lingered everywhere they went. Alex noticed the change in how they viewed their surroundings. Conversations felt lighter, and even mundane tasks seemed bearable. The morning sun now sparked a renewed sense of purpose rather than the old weight of anxiety. Each day felt like an additional opportunity to step toward growth. At work, their confidence blossomed. Colleagues called Alex by name with admiration and respect. "Your speech really inspired me," one coworker said. Hearing those words fueled a sense of pride. Each encouraging comment stitched together a new tapestry of self-worth, one that replaced the old fabric of lingering doubt. In the quiet moments, Alex realized that stepping out of their comfort zone had planted seeds of resilience deep in their soul. The initial fears and uncertainties were still present but transformed into a manageable nagging voice. Instead of drowning in crippling self-doubt, Alex learned to listen quietly to that voice, allowing it to serve a new purpose as a gentle reminder of how far they've come. They now understood that fears were not an ending but just a part of each new beginning. Alex decided to aim higher. Inspired by their experience, they applied for a promotion at work that had once seemed out of reach. Armed with the lessons learned about resilience and self-belief, Alex felt ready to tackle each step of the application process. Writing the cover letter was less daunting, fueled by optimism and the remembrance of their triumphant speech. When it was time for the interview, nostalgia mixed with excitement swept over them. The nervous jitters were still there but tinged with eagerness, a far cry from the paralyzing fears that used to hold them back. Alex took deep breaths before entering the room, feeling the vibrant energy of possibility surrounding them. Remembering Emma's words echoed in their mind, this was simply another opportunity for growth. During the interview, each question felt like a chance to share the skills they had gained. Alex spoke passionately about their journey, emphasizing how overcoming self-doubt had shaped their abilities. Rather than seeing themselves as inadequate, they embraced vulnerability as a strength. The interviewers nodded, engaging with Alex as they shared their insights. After the interview, Alex left feeling accomplished. Whether or not they were chosen, they knew this experience had changed them profoundly. They welcomed the fear of uncertainty rather than avoiding it. Transformed by their journey, Alex no longer felt like a prisoner of self-doubt but a warrior ready to take on new challenges. This pivotal moment redefined how Alex viewed themselves and their capability for growth. The applause from the speech reminded them that their voice mattered in both small and grand ways. With each step forward, Alex learned that resilience was not only about facing fears but also about daring to dream bigger, believing in their journey, and trusting their newfound ability to rise above the challenges. In learning to embrace change, Alex discovered that the real victory lay in the journey itself, a divergent pathway leading to unexpected possibilities and newfound hope. In the weeks following Alex's speech and the interview, life moved forward, but everything felt different. They spent quiet moments reflecting on the chance to share their story and the praise they received. Each time they remembered the experience, a soft warmth settled in their chest, planting roots of courage and self-belief. However, while the triumph was sweet, challenges still awaited around every corner. At work, a new project landed on Alex's desk, a demanding task involving a tight deadline and a team of co-workers accustomed to much larger projects. In the past, they might have shied away from suggesting improvements or leading discussions. Fear would have clutched tightly at their stomach. Yet, now the confidence gained from standing in front of an audience became a spark in Alex's mind. Alex gathered the team one sunny afternoon in the conference room, feeling a blend of eagerness and nerves. Instead of shrinking back in self-doubt, they focused on what they could bring to the table. They outlined a vision for the project, encouraging everyone to share their ideas. This approach opened the floor to thoughts and possibilities, establishing a sense of unity. As the titles of team members and their experiences echoed in the room, Alex felt strengthened, relying on collaboration rather than isolation. When disagreement arose about the proposed plan, rather than sliding into their usual role of anxiety, Alex embraced the discussion. They remembered a key phrase from their public speaking class: conflict can lead to growth. Glancing around the table, Alex pushed through fear and welcomed differing opinions, seeing them as opportunities rather than obstacles. This shift in perspective urged a deeper analysis of every idea presented and set the stage for a productive brainstorming session. As days turned into weeks, Alex's mindset evolved continually. With every challenge faced at work, they fought the temptation to retreat behind walls of doubt. Instead, reminders of past victories nudged them to respond differently. When unexpected problems arose, like a team member missing deadlines or technical issues with the project, Alex realized that these were simply bumps in the road, not barriers to success. One afternoon, while reviewing timelines, something unexpected occurred. An urgent glitch in the project software threatened the entire deadline, causing crackles of anxiety to rise among the group. For a fleeting moment, Alex felt overwhelmed. Doubt whispered, "Maybe you aren't fit to lead." But then, drawing upon the encouragement they had received from their speech, Alex took a deep, grounding breath. Without ignoring the tension among the team, Alex proposed a quick huddle. "Let's tackle this together," they said. They organized a plan with roles clearly defined, allowing each person to play to their strengths. By the end of that meeting, what once felt like a storm suddenly transformed into teamwork, wrapped in cooperation and common purpose. As the project progressed, it became highly successful. This sent a wave of positive momentum through Alex. They started to see themselves not just as someone who could overcome challenges, but as a capable leader with valuable insights to share. Each success, big or small, opened a new door, allowing confidence to blossom. In quieter moments at home, Alex reflected on how far they had come. They used to view challenges as walls meant to block progress, but now recognized them as stepping stones leading to growth. With every hurdle, they became more attuned to their strengths and abilities. It was not about avoiding fear but learning to dance with it. Through this newfound perspective, Alex no longer feared setbacks as failures. Instead, they welcomed them as part of the journey. As self-doubt slowly faded, replaced by a growing appreciation for personal growth, Alex could see endless possibilities unfolding before them. Armed with the lessons learned from their journey so far, they were ready to take on whatever came next, knowing that each experience would lead to continued evolution. With each productive day at work, Alex felt the fire of inspiration growing stronger. They noticed how much they had changed in just a few months. The old fears of speaking up and doubting their abilities faded into the background. It became clear that sharing their journey of growth was as important as the journey itself. Alex wanted to help others break free from their own self-doubt, just as they had. One afternoon at a local cafe, Alex was meeting with Emma. They talked about their experiences and how Alex had started to embrace leadership. Emma's eyes sparkled with fascination as she listened. "You've changed so much. I wish I had the courage to speak up like you do," she said. Suddenly, a bold idea struck Alex. "Why not start something together? We could create a blog or even a YouTube channel to share our stories." At the suggestion, Emma clapped her hands together playfully. "That sounds amazing. Let's inspire people to overcome their fears, just like you did." With excited chatter and laughter, they laid out their plan, eager to connect with others searching for motivation and support. Over the following days, Alex and Emma worked hard to set up the blog. They decided to share not just their own stories, but also tips for overcoming self-doubt and building confidence. They wrote posts filled with practical advice, colorful anecdotes, and positive affirmations. Drawing from their journeys, each entry felt like a piece of their hearts spilled onto the page. As the blog grew, so did their audience. Alex felt uplifted every time a reader commented about how a particular post resonated with them. One comment from a nervous student stood out: "Your story gave me the push I needed to try out for my school play." "Thank you. Reading those heartfelt messages sent waves of encouragement deep into Alex's core, lighting a fire to share even more. Recognizing the power of face-to-face connection, Alex decided to take another step. Inspired by their love for public speaking, they started offering free workshops at the local library, aiming to help anyone wanting to build confidence. They felt a rush of purpose each time, sharing their message face-to-face, guiding others on how to embrace vulnerability and master their fears. At the first workshop, Alex stood before a small group of eager faces. Nervous excitement rippled through them, but they drew strength from the knowledge that they were now the guide. Today, we're going to talk about finding your voice and the importance of believing in yourself, they began, heart racing but encouraged by the welcoming smiles and nodding heads around them. With each story shared, Alex fostered an environment of support, where everyone could speak their truth. In this journey of inspiration, they learned to listen just as much as they spoke. Participants shared their experiences and fears, creating a tapestry of shared struggles and dreams. Alex was amazed at how their own growth facilitated the chance to help others in their challenging moments. Witnessing smiles and breakthroughs sparked meaningful connections and grew their belief in the importance of community. One participant, Sarah, who had struggled with a lifelong fear of public speaking, amazed Alex with her transformation. Under Alex's guidance, Sarah took the brave step to present an idea during the workshop. Her confidence blossomed in those moments, echoing the same path that Alex had traveled not long before. Reflecting on these experiences, Alex realized the profound ripple effect they could create. Just as they had drawn strength from their own journey, they learned how to help others find that same strength. Every workshop held the power to change lives, and the lessons gained became another layer to their own growth. As they engaged in this new purpose of guiding others, Alex understood that true success was never defined by achievements alone, but by the ability to empower those around them. This journey became not just one of personal transformation but an invitation for others to embark on their own journeys of self-improvement. In helping others, Alex saw their own belief in themselves grow even stronger, framing an endless cycle of inspiration and growth that brightened both their path and the paths of those they aimed to uplift. Months passed since Alex had embraced their fears and stepped boldly into challenges, both at work and in life. The blog thrived, and the workshops blossomed into a regular event that drew in people from all walks of life. Every time Alex walked into the library to facilitate the next session, they felt an uplifting sense of purpose. It was no longer just about overcoming their self-doubt. It had become a transformative experience filled with growth, not just for themselves but for those they helped. Looking back, Alex saw how far they had come since the days of hesitating to speak up. The feelings of inadequacy that used to weigh them down felt almost faded now, brushed aside by a newfound appreciation for their voice. Each compliment from a workshop attendee or reader of their blog served as a friendly reminder of the journey they were on. Alex no longer sought approval outside, instead, they focused on cultivating self-acceptance from within. With the success of the project at work, a new opportunity was presented to Alex that further tested their resolute spirit. The company was expanding, and the management team wanted to choose someone to lead a new initiative. Alex felt a rush of excitement mixed with apprehension. Could this really be me, they thought, but this time the nagging voice of doubt had faded to a soft whisper. Alex had built a sturdy foundation of belief through countless small victories, each one stacking on top of the last. Preparing to speak again in front of management felt like stepping onto a comfortable stage rather than a nerve-wracking platform. They channeled everything they had learned into the presentation, sharing a vision rooted in open communication and teamwork. Recalling the times when they hesitated before, Alex now spoke openly and passionately. They didn't present perfection but authenticity, showcasing their own growth and understanding as a strength rather than a weakness. The feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and the management team acknowledged Alex's dedication and fresh thinking. In that moment, they felt a surge of empowerment. The position as leader of the new initiative was soon offered, and with it came initiatives they could pour their heart into, enriching the workplace culture that had once seemed daunting. Alex accepted with a joyful heart, knowing this was not just a personal accomplishment but more an extension of their commitment to lifting others. Beyond work, the roots of personal growth spread into all areas of life. Alex's relationships flourished as well. Friends and family saw the change in them, and they began embracing conversations that encouraged deeper connections. Honesty and vulnerability became essential values, building a bond that strengthened their ties with loved ones. When Emma suggested trying something new, like hiking to a nearby peak, Alex eagerly agreed, knowing it was another chance to explore both nature and themselves. Reflecting on the path of personal growth, it dawned on Alex that the journey is never truly finished. Life will always present new challenges, and fear may sometimes resurface. But instead of fearing these uncertainties, they welcomed them as opportunities to learn more about themselves. The landscape of self-discovery became a lifelong adventure filled with lessons to embrace. With confidence still glowing inside, Alex set their sights on future possibilities, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Through each trial, the belief in their own capabilities had deepened, transforming their dreams into attainable goals. They understood the power of resilience, not just as a concept but as a vivid experience in their life. With hope shining brightly in their heart, Alex knew they had arrived at a place of empowerment and fulfillment. They had transformed not just their mindset, but the very fabric of their life. Knowing that personal growth is a continuous journey, Alex felt excited to see where the path would lead next, eager to unlock more potential within themselves and to inspire others on their own journeys of self-improvement. The story of growth, after all, was only just beginning.